Sir.
Morning. Good morning, sir. Good to have you on board. And good morning to every other person. Good morning. Good morning. What about?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Lami, Chukwebuka, Okun, and every other person.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Madam Monaji and Macaulay. All right, so let's get started. So,
Sir, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Who is that? Oluwatowa. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so we're ending the month of August this week. So we should be starting September by next week, Sunday. So next week, Monday will be the beginning of the new month. So we have just 5 days, 5 trading days of the week, and we'll end the month of August. You know, like I always tell us, occasionally you need to appraise yourself and see how you're faring in this business. Month in, month out, you need to do a review. What are you doing right? What are you doing wrong? What do you still need to learn? You know, which area do you need to improve yourself? You need to always have this appraisal of yourself constantly. That will help you to make progress in this business. So we have quite a number of fundamental activities for this week. A number of fundamental activities for this week. And like from today now, today we have about 3 fundamental events, though they are more of a medium impact event, but notwithstanding, it could still lead to some volatility in the market. Like this morning by 9 a.m., there was going to be German IFO business climate, which will impact upon the Eurozone. And 1:30 p.m. today, we have core durable good orders and durable good orders by 1:30 p.m. from the United States. Now, for the other events this week, I'll focus more on the important ones. On Tuesday, there's going to be consumer confidence, CB consumer confidence in the United States by 3 p.m. You can plan ahead for that event. Usually, it moves the market. So let's plan ahead for that tomorrow. You can mark that in your calendar and take note of it as an event you want to trade. And on Wednesday by 2:30 a.m., there'll be CPI from Australia, which is going to affect the AEDPS. It's an important news. It will definitely move the market. You know, though it's going to happen in the middle of the night for us who live in Nigeria, but then you can choose to wake up early. You can set your alarm, wake up early to pick some pips during this event. It really is going to be volatile. And on that same Wednesday by 3:30 p.m., there will be crude oil inventories. So if you're there, you trade crude oil or you have special interest in, you know, crude oil as an asset, then don't miss this crude oil inventory on Wednesday by 3:30 p.m. And on Thursday, the important events to look out for on Thursday, the Eurozone, the German prelim CPI, and the Spanish flash CPI. You know, these events are coming up on Thursday. The German prelim CPI is all day, while the Spanish flash CPI is exactly 8 a.m. We can watch out for this. And by 1:30 p.m. on Thursday, there'll be prelim GDP quarterly and unemployment claims. You know, both of these combined together will definitely move the dollar on Thursday by 1:30 p.m. So let's watch out for that. And on Friday, we have the Euro flash estimate yearly. That's by 10 a.m. for the Eurozone on Friday. And on Friday also, we have the GDP from Canada by 1:30 and core PCE price index from the United States by 1:30 p.m. So these are the major events that are expected to move the market this week. So let's plan ahead for this event. We can mark them in our calendar and watch out for them as the week unfolds. All right, with that being said, I'm going to switch over now to my MetaTrader platform as we look at what to trade technically for today and also for the week. Now, for the news by 9 a.m., German IOF business climate, you might also look at the euro and see which of the Europeans will respond to this news. So I'm flipping out to my MetaTrader platform. Now, I have quite a number of interesting setup for us to look at today, and I'll start with the dollar index. And please, I want to establish something here that when I give analysis, Please take note of the instruments I mentioned during my analysis. I always say those are the grade A instruments I want you to focus on. And when people start asking questions, please, most of those individual questions, kindly take it as personal to those individuals, because for some of them, they're already on the running trade and they just need clarity. Don't take all those things as 100% signals. It's just analysis for those instruments, because the ones I'm giving you are the main ones you should focus your attention on. So I want to establish that. Now, for the dollar index, we can clearly see that dollar index, closed last week Friday on a support level. So technically, that means that we're looking for an opportunity to buy the dollar this week. So if I go now to the main instrument I want to trade, which is USD I can clearly see that for my USD price actually, hit a kind of a confluence zone right here, because we have a trend line, an uptrend, which, hit this lower part and this other place. So we have a valid uptrend and we have a valid support between here and this place is a support. So we have a massive confluence at this spot, and technically we're looking for an opportunity for price to go bullish. And if you look at it at a closer look, this is clearly also forming a double bottom pattern on the daily time frame. So giving us this very strong bullish outlook on the USD And if you flip down to 4 hour, 1 hour, let's even say 15 minutes, on the 15 minutes time frame, we're actually seeing, not really a clear inverted and shoulder, but we're seeing something that is looking a little like a reversal pattern. So we're expecting some breakout, upwards on this instrument. So I hold a bullish outlook on the USD for today. I'm expecting price to break out, in the bullish direction on this instrument. Then I'll look next at the GBP USD. Now for the GBP USD on the weekly time frame, price is a support turned resistance. This is still a support turned resistance, which will lead to a bearish movement on this instrument. So if we flip down to the 1 hour time frame, this is what we see. And I can clearly draw my trend line and draw a second one. So this gives us a rising wedge pattern. So this gives a rising wedge pattern. So with the rising wedge pattern, I'm actually expecting a breakout downwards. So, and it's very much in line because we're bullish on the dollar. So if we're bullish on the dollar, it's not out of place to be bearish on an instrument like the GBP USD. So I'm bearish on the GBP USD on the 1 hour. Let's take note of that. Now, as the day unfolds and the actual setup, forms for a signal, just watch out for those who are the funded groups. You will get the new setup, the update, and the signal will be posted, in those groups. And the AUD USD is the next one. Now, for the AUD USD, on the weekly time frame, we can clearly see that price is, descending. We have a descending trend line right here, a downtrend, and price, hits the same level on the trend line along a resistance. So we have a confluence, a descending trend line, a resistance, all of them pointing out to a bearish movement on the AUD USD. And if I flip down to 1 hour, this is what I can see. Now, there are two sides to this. On one side, price may try to form a double top and a decline. That's a possibility. On the 1 hour, we'll have a double top and a decline. And if you go, or if you go over to the 4 hour, we can also see that it's possible that price may eventually, now this may be on the swing and will require some patience. Though I would say that the emphasis now should be on the 1 hour, but this is equally another possibility. Price may form a head and a shoulder and an eventual decline. This, this one is something that will take more time. But on the short term, what I see forming here is the likelihood of price bouncing back up there to hit that, resistance and trend line from the weekly time frame, then have a drop, possibly targeting this level here. So I hold a bearish outlook on the AUD USD on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Though, like I said, that 4 hour is still futuristic. We might have to just patiently wait for that to evolve. Another way to look at it is still to draw this trend line right here as we plan towards that big decline in the AUD USD. So I'm bearish on the AUD USD on the 1 hour. And next I want to show us now is the BTC USD. Now, this is the BTC USD on the daily time frame. Price clearly hit a very valid support, support turned resistance right here. And this red candle is actually today's daily candle, and it's forming a rejection candle. Yeah, the day is still young, anything can happen, but then a rejection candle is a rejection candle, because if you flip down to the 4 hour time frame, we can clearly see that we still have that valid rejection candle. Now, two possibilities I can find around this setup is that from what I'm seeing here, this may end up with a shoulder, a head. It may go up again to form a second shoulder and might lead to a decline. That's a possibility. And with this trend line in place, that can also, enhance the drop on this instrument. On the other hand, is that price, if you flip down to 1 hour, you can see that price is equally trying to test this support level here. So if it all depends on the market forces is strong, we may see an outright breakout. We may see an outright breakout without the second shoulder forming. So, but what is important on either ways, on either side, is that we have a bearish breakout on the BTC USD. And don't forget, it's on the 1 hour time frame. So we're bearish on the BTC USD on the 1 hour. And the next I want to look at is the GBP card. Now we've been looking at these instruments, off and on since last week. So hopefully maybe the breakout will happen this week. Now the GBP card on the monthly time frame, you can see that price, is descending downwards on the monthly time frame, and we equally have a valid support here, support turned resistance, 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 resistance up to here. So we have a valid key level, coinciding with a descending trend line on the monthly time frame. So if you flip down to 1 hour, we have, that confluence is still right here. And you can see a rejection candle clearly hit that same level, and that's what is responsible for the decline we're seeing at the moment. So all things being equal, we're expecting a bearish breakout on this instrument, possibly in the course of today. If there's sufficient volatility to push price, we're expecting a bearish breakout on this instrument. So I'm bearish on the GBP card, and it's on the 1 hour time frame. And finally, I'll be looking at NAS 100. NAS 100. Now, this is NAS 100. On the 4 hour time frame, we can see that price hits a resistance confirmed here, and that technically that should lead to a decline. But on the second look, we're equally having a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, which should lead to a bearish movement on this instrument. And if you flip down to 1 hour, you can see it's still very clear that we have a head and shoulder forming, still a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder. So we are waiting the bearish breakout on this instrument in the course of today. So if once price is able to break out below this trend line and the RSI is below 50, to be a time to trigger a sell on NAS 100. So I'm bearish on NAS 100 for today. All right, so that'll be all from my analysis this morning. So let me just do a recap of all the instruments I've analyzed. I've analyzed the dollar index, and I said I'm bullish on the dollar index. I'm bullish on the USD JPY on 1 hour. I'm bearish on GBP USD on 1 hour. I'm bearish on AD USD on 1 hour. I'm bearish on BTC USD on 1 hour. I'm bearish on GBP CAD on 1 hour. And I'm bearish on NAS 100 on 1 hour. So that's all for my analysis this morning. A second, please. All right, so like I said earlier, please let your attention be on this specific instrument I've listed here as a one I analyzed for today. Other ones, let's take it more specific to individuals who are asking about those other instruments. So I'll attend to the request I have here. Mr. Wolabi is asking about USD CAD. So I'll go to USD CAD now, and let's see if there's anything on USD CAD. All right, so this is USD CAD. Now on the daily time frame, okay, let's start from the weekly time frame rather. On the weekly time frame, we can clearly see that price, okay, that's daily. Let me go to the weekly. Yeah, there was a decline recently after price hit a resistance level on the weekly time frame. But then if we flip down to the daily time, you can see that price is actually, we have an uptrend here. And price is declining towards the trend line. However, if you look really close at this trend line, you will see that price is still, is not yet there. So what I think will happen to this USD CAD is that price will need to drop to hit this trend line before bouncing off. We are bullish on the dollar, so the price needs to touch this trend line. It's not there at the moment, but it's possible in the course of the day that we see an initial bearish movement on the USD CAD before we now see a bullish movement on this instrument. So it's still likely going to be bullish, but you need to patiently wait first for price to touch that trend line before reversing into the bullish direction. So that's my view on the USD CAD for Mr. Wolabi. For Oluwatoba gold. All right, gold last week, there was quite some movement on gold. Sometimes though it was not really stable. But then let's see if there's any setup on gold. Let me just clean off all this setup I have here. Now, as we speak, gold is actually trading around a resistance level on the daily time frame. It's a resistance on the daily. So this is 1 hour. Let's go down to 15 minutes. Okay, I think 1 hour is better. All right, so on the 1 hour time frame, let me check the line chart. On the 1 hour time frame, it seems to be forming like a head and shoulder. Now, I'm not certain yet on gold, but I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Now, if you're bullish on the dollar, well, gold might respect that to have some decline. And with this pattern that is looking like a head and shoulder, it means that if price is unable to break out above this place, then above that daily resistance, then we should see a decline in price. So if we anticipate a decline, that is a bearish movement on gold, there's a corresponding setup here, which is a trend line. So for those asking about gold, just watch out today. If this pattern holds and that resistance level holds, you see a decline on gold and gold should break that trend line downwards. So we hold, tentatively, we'll hold a bearish outlook on gold. USD CHF MK. Now for USD CHF, just like the USD CAD, price is yet to hit certain levels where we're looking for a very good reversal point. You can see we have a support level there on the, for this is even the monthly time frame. This is the weekly, this is the daily. Price is still a little bit, far from the support. So if price hit that support level, we might anticipate a bullish reversal in price. So we need to, just like the USD CAD, we need to wait for price to hit the support level on the USD CHF for us to look for an opportunity to buy it. DJ30. All right, so this is DJ30 on the daily time frame, and price clearly is trading around a resistance level. You can see the tip of the candle here. We have price hitting it and it's trying to form a rejection candle. So we have a valid resistance level there on the daily time frame. So let's flip down to 1 hour. Let's go down to 15 minutes. Okay, I think 1 hour is still okay. So we're not having any serious pattern on that spot. The only thing we might be looking out for is we have a trend line, and we might just be waiting for price to break out below the trend line. And we can add an additional trend line at the back to form a kind of a rising wedge pattern. So if this pattern holds, we should see a decline in the DJ30, but the confirmation should be our RSI below 50. That's what gives us the confirmation to sell this instrument. So I'm bearish on DJ30. Euro AUD. Okay. All right, for Euro AUD, I'm on a long-term bearish movement on this instrument. And I tell you, it's going to drop massively, but it's a setup that requires a lot of patience. It's a swing trade. If you're not yet on it, I will advise you wait. It's going to sell, but it may take some time. Because my view on this instrument, I think I analyzed this instrument last week. We can see clearly that price, the monthly time frame, this is a current candlestick for the monthly time frame. You can see it's forming a rejection candle. So, and if it closes, and that's the reason why the instrument doesn't seem to have some clarity at the moment, even though long term is going to be bearish. Because if the month closes with this rejection candle, and the month I mean this Friday, if by this Friday this instrument closes with this rejection candle, then it will be a time to trigger a massive bearish movement on the Euro AUD. And currently on the weekly time frame, I'm not seeing much. Let's go to daily. Is there a support there? Okay, let's see. I'm not seeing much at the moment, but all I know technically is that, earlier on, this was forming a kind of a head and shoulder, which was to lead to a bearish breakout here, but then it found support here. I think it's just doing a retracement and may continue selling further. But I really don't have fight to sell until the monthly candlestick closes, because the monthly candlestick is what will decide how fast it's going to drop. So I personally, I don't know, it may not drop so much this week until the monthly candle closes. So I have a long-term bearish outlook, but on the short term, I'm not really seeing any setup. But I will advise you are careful of any bullish movement for now because it will just be temporary. Price may reverse. So if you are not yet on this trade, I tell you to just stay out and wait for when the proper bearish movement will take place. Euro card. Well, I purposely left out Euro card. It's one of the instruments I have on my screen this morning, but so that we don't duplicate the card pairs. That's why I just focused on the GBP card. For the Euro card, we've been looking at this also since last week. You know, sometimes some of these instruments you get a very good setup, but somehow volatility is not strong enough to push those setup through. So you have to just learn to exercise patience. That's why we say that three things we do in trading: we buy, we sell, and we wait. So for a currency pair like EuroCAD, it's actually the waiting game. That's what's happening presently. But then on the daily time frame, we can see that price actually hits a resistance level on the daily time frame. And on a closer look, you can also see that it's forming a head and shoulder pattern, which will lead to a decline. So if we flip down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that price currently is testing the trend line. Price is testing this trend line. So the moment price breaks out below this trend line, we're going to see a massive bearish movement on the Euro card. RSI is already below 50, it's 48, and MACD is gradually climbing and going below zero. So if in the course of this week price drops below that trend line, then I tell you that we'll see a massive bearish breakout on the Euro card. So I'm bearish on the Euro card, but take note that this is a swing setup. It's a swing setup, it's not a day trading setup. Watch out for signal in the funded group. What we have are just setups that are maturing. That's in response to Titus. There are times the setup is just maturing, so we just analyze them while we wait for the actual signal. So that's what we're doing. We're waiting for the actual signal. There is no clear signal now. The market is just beginning of the week. The market is trying to form properly. But watch out in the funded group. And that's why you should be in the funded group. You need to fund your account, have a funded account, then reach out to your account manager for you to be added to the funded group. Should we treat Euro USD same as GBP USD? Now, I said we are bearish on GBP USD. I don't know, have we analyzed Euro USD? I'm not too sure. Let's go down, go back. Okay, for Euro USD, now, GBP USD has a much more likely chance of selling from the analysis compared to Euro USD. And the reason is this: for the Euro USD, price is still a bit distant from the resistance level over there. So price will need to go up first. If you're looking for opportunity to sell, it has to go up first before we can see a decline. This is the resistance level. So price will need to go up first before it declines. So you don't treat them as the same. Don't sell, you know, change your mindset on this. If you are buying GGP USD, you buy UJ at the same time. Sometimes these instruments have different volatility levels. Even though in reality they go in the same direction most of the time, but because their volatility is different, somehow it's just good to trade them independently and also watch out for the right timing to trade each of them. Don't lump them together at the same time without having proper clarity to do that. So for Euro USD, I anticipate that price will first go up before we see a decline on the Euro USD. So that's for Oluwatoba Adeogun. You're welcome, Madam Monaji. We have not looked at Euro USD. I just looked at it now. So I think I've attended to all the questions. I've attended to all the questions. All right, so let's just watch out. Next week, Friday, that'll be the first Friday in the month of September. We're having our live trading for NFP. So make sure you join us for that live trading session with a funded account. very, very important. It's for funded clients. Make sure you join us with a funded account because we're going to be trading live that day. EBS is asking about gold. We already analyzed gold. We are bearish on gold. Gold is trading at a resistance level on the daily time frame. So we're looking at a possible decline, all things being equal. So as I was saying, watch out for live trading of NFP next week, Friday by 1:15 p.m. If you're on the platform, you don't have a live account, just visit our website right now as I speak, www.piguprime.com, and open a live trading account. Once you open an account, your account manager will reach out to you and will walk you through the registration process. And we also have our bootcamp. Bootcamp is still running, both online and offline. Online is on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays by 7 p.m. We had a session yesterday. There will be another online session on Wednesday and Friday this week. Just watch out in your WhatsApp group, you get the links, and make sure you join. It will really improve your knowledge of how this trading business, how it works. And also we have the bootcamp physical session on Saturdays, strictly at our Abuja and Lagos office. So the Saturday session is for those who are busy professionals, those who don't have time to join our physical training sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays during the course of the week. And the Saturday session was just designed for you. So if you happen to live around Abuja and its environment, find a way to our offices in these locations this Saturday by 11 a.m. Now for the Abuja office, the address is Work and Connect Building, 50 Ebitu Okiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja. Time again is 11 a.m. And for Lagos office, the address is Agos Business Lounge at 54B Adeniyi Jones Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. And the time is also 11 a.m. All right, so we're going to be ending the analysis session right here this morning. Like I said earlier, once we see a clear signal from all this setup, it will be dropped in the funded groups. So if you're yet to be in the funded group, make sure you fund the account and join that group. A lot is happening in that group that you don't want to miss. All right, see you some other time. Take care and bye for now. Thank you. God bless you. Amen.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir.